What's going on, guys? And as you can see, we're gonna be working on the trailer today. We had a little bit of a mess up. We went to go get some new tires put on, and as they were taking the lug nuts off, the lug nuts kind of stripped. I don't know. These tires have never been replaced. They had the normal Big Tex good rides on them, and so now I've got some of the BFGs. I think they're called the Endurance. They're not the 14 plies or whatever, but I want to say I got about 70,000 miles out of those good rides, and I had one blowout, and I was about to have another one, so that's why I went ahead and got these new tires. So let's take a look. So I've got this hub. So I had to get a hub. I know I could have got the studs, just the studs, because you can just knock them out. They do just knock out. You can hit them with a hammer. It's going to take a lot of force, but you can knock these out and replace them, each of them. At the time, or actually right now, I don't have the time to wait on the studs for warranty and things like that, so I just went ahead and I bought the hub. It came with the studs already in it. I had to buy the lug nuts too, and I got some extra ones too, I believe. But anyway, so let's take a look at the issue that we had. So as you can see, that one doesn't even have a lug nut on it, and that one's not all the way on there because the thread's screwed up. I don't know what happened. I think from the factory they might have messed them up. So yeah, the dealership that I bought the trailer from, they're gonna try their best to help me out with the warranty on this and stuff like that, and try and refund me the money. I think it was only like $107, so I'm not too worried about it. It is what it is. It's part of owning a trailer and part of the maintenance and stuff. So all right, I just wanted to explain what I was doing in the video. Obviously the tire's off, so after that there's a small little cap that you can take a flathead to and kind of pry up, and it'll pop off. Once you get past that cap, there is a little keeper for the axle nut that holds your bearings and your hub to the axle. A lot of times sometimes there might be a cotter pin, but on this Big Tex there is like a gold little keeper that kind of presses on there. So just take a flathead to it and pop it off. Once you do that, there is going to be a lot of grease. So as you can tell, I take some paper towels and I kind of go around and clean it up as best as I can. I honestly hate working with grease. It gets everywhere, and you can't ever get it off your fingers when you go to wash your hands and stuff. So I use a lot of paper towels. But once you do that, you can take that axle nut off and back it all the way off and take it off, set it up on your trailer. And what I do, since I have a gravel driveway, I set paper towels underneath the hub because once you go pulling on the hub, that bearing will can fall out, and you don't want it landing in all the gravel and all the grass and stuff and getting all that stuff in the bearing. So I set down some paper towels excuse me, and once I did that, so I pulled it off, was able to get the front bearing out and then set it up on the trailer. I believe there's also a kind of like a big washer that goes right after the axle nut, so don't forget that as well. So once you get the axle nut and you get the washer and you get that front bearing out, go ahead and pull that hub off. And when you pull that hub off, go ahead and inspect that hub. Take a look inside. Rub your finger or your hand across it, but be careful because there could be some gouging and stuff going on. Just take a look, make sure there's no grease, make sure there's no gouging. Also, take some brake cleaner. At the time I didn't have any brake cleaner, so if you don't have any, that's fine. Just inspect your brakes as well. Make sure that there is even wear and that there's no grease, and make sure there's no gouging on those brake pads, because if you got gouging on your brake pads and you go and put a new hub on, you're gonna mess up that hub. So you don't want to do that, because then you're going to be out $100, and then you're going to have to replace the brakes as well and replace the hub again. You don't want to do that. So once you come to the determination that everything is good to kind of go back together, you want to take that old hub, and that old hub has a seal on the back, and behind that seal is the bigger bearing that rides on the axle. So you want to flip that hub over, and you want to take a punch or a screwdriver. I really highly recommend a flat punch, because if you take a screwdriver, you run the risk of damaging that seal or that bearing. So I highly recommend using a punch, and just slowly start tapping and beating the seal out so the bearing can come out. But once I do that in this video, I slowly start to realize that I did not get a new seal for my new hub. So luckily, whenever I knocked that old seal out, I did it carefully, because I did realize beforehand that I didn't have the seal, and I was very, very disappointed in myself, and I should have known better, but it is what it is. We'll move on from it. All right, guys, I'm going to kind of give y'all a little bit of an update. So when I bought this is my mistake again. Another mistake, mistakes happen. We're all human. When I bought the hub, I forgot about the wheel seal on the back, in the back of the hub. So I did take it out. There is no damage when I took it out, because I did knock it out using the old bearing, or using the bearing, because the bearing sits in there, and then you put the wheel seal in. So I actually completely forgot about it. There are no nicks on it or anything, so it's still good. But another thing I also forgot was grease, because I'm going to repack these bearings while they're in there. I don't really trust the little grease arc that's on it, but yeah, so that's what we're going to go do. I'm going to load up in the truck, and we're going to go get some grease and see if maybe we can get a wheel seal. All right, guys, so we just got back from O'Reilly's, and they did not have the wheel seal that we needed. But like I said, it's still good. I used the bearing to knock it out. There's no nicks on it. There's no bending. There's no nothing. So we're going to go back with it, because like I said, it's fine. Me, just personally, when I put new stuff together, I like to go back with all new stuff. So it was a shot in the dark, but we got grease, and we're going to get finished up on this, and I'll put y'all on time lapse, and we can get this thing knocked out together. All right, guys, so we got the new hub installed, and we went ahead and went back with the old wheel seal. And the old wheel seal's still good. Like I said, it's gonna hold grease, and it's gonna hold dust out, and we'll be all right. Went to O'Reilly's, and there was nothing there, so we went ahead and just got grease and repacked the bearings while I was in there by hand, as you can see on the time lapse. And yeah, we just put the tire back on, lock the lug nuts down, make sure the cap was back on, and make sure our bearings were tight, and back it off just enough. And we're gonna lower it off the jack, and we'll be good to go. Be ready for Monday. And like I said, we have a load Monday. We'll be going to Kansas and then coming back. It's for a direct customer of ours. And so yeah, anyways, so for our old hub, so what I think I'm gonna do with this old hub is I'm gonna replace all the studs. The hub is still good itself. The races are still good. Everything's still good on it. it's just the studs that are having an issue. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and buy all the studs, replace the studs, put new studs in it, and I'm gonna keep it on the truck, possibly on the truck, just in case anything happens while I'm on the road. If I have a blowout and I can't get the old lug nuts back on or something, or they strip out, who knows? You never know when you're on the road. So that's probably the biggest issue, is when you're on the road, you never know. It's always better to be prepared. So yeah, that'll be it for today. I'll catch y'all on the next one, man. Y'all take care.